So now it is live. Yes, it is there. Yeah. Okay. Delegates, if you are able to listen to us, please write the comment that our voice is okay. So am I audible? Okay. So please mention your name, your college name, and your state in the chat box. So thank you, Tenzin. Uh, Tenzin, madam, just mention your name of city, your college name, and your state. Thanks for the confirmation. Uh, so please mention your name of city, your college name in chat box. So the same thing is also simultaneously live, going to be live at my Facebook page. So yeah, Tanzin Adnan, madam is there from JSS College of Pharmacy, Mysore. Welcome, madam. And Sakshi Singh, madam is also there. So mention your college name, your city. BK Singh sir is there from INCT University Bhopal, and Shakshi Singh is from Dipsar, New Delhi. Anjali Boyer, madam, welcome to this session. Dada Sahib, Balpandi College of Pharmacy, Nagpur, Maharashtra. All of you, good evening to all of you, and welcome to this session. Mention your name of city and your state. Those are just joining. So within next 4 minutes, we'll be starting the session. So BK Singh sir is there from Bhopal, that is LNCT University. So Raghunath Prasad Tripathi is there from College of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Puri, Odisha. So from various state of our country, the people are joining to us. And Urmila, madam is there from Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh. And Rishi Aher is from KK College of Pharmacy, Nasik, Maharashtra. So that is a great. So here, this is you are at the this my YouTube channel platform, and the main purpose of this all these free webinars on ICT tools for the preparation of competitive examination and all. The main purpose behind this is that to support the students and the teachers during this lockdown period, where the institutions and the colleges are completely closed. So it does not mean that the uh, convey of the knowledge is blocked. There are so many sources. YouTube is one of them. So we are using YouTube up to the mark because it is a free platform. So now, uh, so far we have conducted 32 successful webinars, and this is 33 webinar. It is a totally non-professional and YouTube channel. Similarly, Dharmesh Mehta is also running his own YouTube channel. You give the name Dharmesh Mehta, and also Pharma Elite. Pharma Elite, they are dedicatedly working on computer examination as well as marketing skills. So you visit their channel also, and subscribe that channel too. So now next 2 minutes will be starting the session. So those who are live, please mention your name of your name and your.
Anwar, so your voice is getting cut in between.
Yeah,
I hope there are
I will check.
no
Yeah. So mention your college name, your city, and your state. Those who are live, welcome to this wonderful session. So now within 1 minute we'll be going to start the session, and hope this session will be very useful. uh, Venkatesh Gaikwad. Okay, let me check. Is my voice is now the voice is okay? Sachin Jadhav sir is YIP Ahmedabad. Now the voice is okay. Please mention in the comment box so that quickly we'll start the session. Any one of you? Is the voice okay? My audio? Okay. So thank you, and we'll start the session now. So welcome to this webinar 33 at my YouTube channel. We have crossed now 25,000 subscribers recently, and this is because of your support only. It was impossible without your support, and that encouraged us to take these free webinars, okay, without any expectations. So today we are having Mr. Dharmesh Mehta with us. He is a scholar. He completed his MS from National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Hyderabad, in NIPER. That is one of the reputed institution in pharmaceutical sciences. Okay. Similarly, he completed his Bachelor of Pharmacy from Vivekananda Education Society College of Pharmacy, Mumbai in 2013 to 2017. He has achieved received a lot of prizes at the first position, and he is the winner at many competitions. As I am going through his biodata, he qualified GPAT in 2017 with All India rank 484, and NIPER JEE 2017 with All India rank 66. So itself he indicate that he is the very proper person for this guidance. So he will share us about his strategy for the preparation, as well as what guidance extra he received from his seniors to us. So note down all the things properly. We will be having this 1 hour or 45 minute session. After that, we will be having question answer definitely. So mention your questions whenever asked, that to write your comments or your questions. So with this brief introduction, I will request Dharmesh to start with the session. I will share your presentation first.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good
Thank you,
evening,
Dharmesh.
everyone. First of all, big thanks to Anwar sir for bringing a change across all the colleges, across all the places, and not just restricting it to competitive exams, but making it a platform to train how to go about teaching in this lockdown time, ensuring with different industry faculties coming in to guide their experiences, giving students an idea about the industry knowledge required as well. So must say, sir, you are doing a great job in with the help of your channel. Many of us are getting knowledge about what we were unaware. So a big thanks
Thank
to you before we start in.
thank
Students,
you.
let's make this session very much interactive. Keep asking your doubts, keep asking your questions. I can see at present we are 23. Trust me, by the end of this session, you'll have multiple different directions when it comes to GPAT NIPER preparation. Not only that, I would like to just highlight few things what you will be having at the end of this particular session. By the time it's 5:45 around, we are having a short introduction about A to I. So what do I mean by A to I? I mean academia to industry. There is something new what we have come up with academia to industry as a concept, which we'll be sharing sharp at 5:45. Let's get started as of now with strategy for GPAT NIPER preparation. So I suppose on-screen strategy for GPAT NIPER preparation, voice is clear and everything is good to go. In case during the session, if you feel the audio has cracked in or if there is an audio issue, please do let me know. So throughout this entire session of next 45 minutes, what I would like to highlight more is focusing on the strategy part. What we all make mistakes while preparing for competitive exams is we go with the flow sometimes. we are not finding out what is the right manner, but we are just focusing on someone's words. Someone said GPAT NIPER is too tough. You cannot qualify. It is having 4 years of syllabus, and you thought that okay, it is really tough, and you took it up that way. But on the other way around, GPAT is very easy provided you know the way how to go about it. So not only about GPAT, let it be any other exam. You have CAT today happening at across the centers of India. Same way, when you have the right way to go about, let it be GPAT or NIPER, any exam is easy. Only thing which you need to be aware about is the way forward. So throughout this next 45 minutes, what we would like to guide you will be with regards to the ways to go ahead with this particular session. Via end, you will be having a clear cut ideology about how to prepare for GPAT and NIPER, how are they both different, and how you make sure that you prepare for both of them in a strategical manner. First of all, I would just like to highlight, don't think something small, just qualification mat socho. Most of our are just thinking on those lines, will I be able to qualify? We just play with those thoughts in our mind, but trust me, qualification of GPAT is not a challenge. If anything is a challenge, then try and get a rank in top 10. Try get try and get a rank which would be, something out of the box which you never thought you could do it. So first of all, ensure that you have high goal setting. Don't think small. तब सोचना है तो कुछ बड़ा सोचो ना. Even if you lose, it's totally fine, but first and foremost part is at least you should dream big. Dream big is not going to cost you, probably it will give you a way to go further. So please don't think on those lines that this particular thing is not possible or it cannot be done. Everything is possible provided you know how to go about it. Once you have a clear direction, you can actually get through everything. So we'll talk about that direction further. With regards to NIPER 2020 result, what Pharmaelite got for its students, which are via classroom lectures as well as online lectures. So the best result what Pharmaelite had was NIPER All India rank 01 in general category for a Pharma MBA graduate. So we keep saying target All India rank 01, and we did it in the very second year in our first batch which started originally in 2018. So we got NIPER All India rank 01 over there in general category for Pharma MBA. Later on, he was also NIPER All India rank 02 for MS category, again in general. And we also had NIPER All India rank 18 in MS category. And many more ranks further, which you can find it on my YouTube channel, The Ramesh Mehta. There is an entire list of rankers. So let's not focus on that. Let's get to our important topic now. Just want to tell you a few different facts wherein you need to place yourself how you're supposed to be different than others. Talking about previous year cutoffs of GPAT. Now you might be wondering on why one side I told you to target All India rank 01, and on other side I'm asking you to just have a look on the cutoff. Am I making sense with my words? I'll tell you how do I mean it and why do I mean it. Talking about GPAT, with regards to GPAT, I hope most of us are aware that you have 125 questions. For 125 questions in GPAT, you get 3 hours. For every question which you attempt, if the attempted question goes correct, you get 4 marks. If you attempt a question and if it goes wrong, I mean, if you attempt a question and if it goes wrong, you lose 4 plus 1, 5 marks. And if you don't attempt a question only, question attempt in a then you lose only 4 marks. So now the challenge is 4 plus 1 is going to be 5. You are going to lose 5 marks in circumstances where you attempt a question and it goes wrong. You lose 4 marks if you don't attempt a question. So most of the time what we all do is thinking of negative marking, we don't tend to attempt much questions. हम लोग को negative marking का risk लगता है, we don't tend to attempt many questions around and we leave it. So that's where we go wrong. We lose 4 marks only thinking that if I take a risk and if it goes wrong, it will be a big loss and we don't give it another try. But trust me, this risk taking is required because when you take a risk, there is a good amount of chance you can turn it around. Only thing is that your risk is supposed to be calculated risk. It should not happen that you just started and you went off. No, it has to be calculated risk. I'll talk about that calculations further as well. Not only this, if you qualify GPAT, only then you can write NIPER. Just the way you had your exams right in 12th standard, JEE mains and advanced. If you qualify one, then you can write another. So if you qualify GPAT, only then you can write NIPER, or else you cannot attempt NIPER. Not only this, one of the important things which most of us are not aware because we start with our GPAT preparation most of the times right in final year, not even in third year. Now, what happens by the time it is final year with regards to GPAT, it's not a challenge. But when it comes to NIPER, when you are supposed to write NIPER exam, NIPER has one prerequisite. Your pointer, aggregate pointer, I mean, average pointer of 1 to 8 semesters should be between 6.75 and above. It cannot be below 6.75. If your pointer is less than 6.75 in aggregate pointer of semester 1 to 8, you're not eligible to write NIPER exam. Now, what happens is by the time you come in for the final round, by the time you have your NIPER coming, you don't have time to increase your pointer. It's almost gone. If you are planning of NIPER right from day one, let it be you as a second year student or a third year student or a final year student, ensure you focus on getting a pointer 6.75 and above right from now. If you're a faculty at your college, I request you to guide your students on this line as well. Because second, third year and all, we tend to take lightly. We think final year के pointer पे ही सब कुछ होगा, job भी उसी पे मिलेगा. But if you don't have a pointer 6.75 and above, you're not eligible to write the exam. Be careful on this note. Nextly, if you qualify GPAT, then you get a stipend of 12,400 rupees per month, and it's from the government. You get a stipend of 12,400 rupees per month. But now you're eligible for this stipend only if you qualify GPAT and also if you don't have any ATKTs around. That's one of the major concerns. Now, thinking about cutoffs, why am I talking about cutoffs when I'm asking you to target a All India rank 01? Cutoffs, I am just saying mainly if at all situations goes wrong during the time of exam, your medical health was not in place, you had some other problems, ensure that in any situation you qualify GPAT. Because if you qualify GPAT, you have a chance to write NIPER. But if you don't qualify GPAT, you don't have a chance to write NIPER. So irrespective of your scores in GPAT, irrespective of your rank in GPAT, let it be rank 10, let it be rank 200, let it be rank 5000, you're still eligible to write NIPER if you qualify GPAT. But if you don't qualify GPAT, you lose that eligibility. So ensure that point number one, you qualify anyhow. If you observe previous year cutoffs for GPAT for the year 2013 to 2017, it was in the range of 112 to 118. Going further in the year 2018, it increased by 21. When you go further in 2019, the cutoff further shooted by 4 marks. Going further in 2020, the cutoff actually increased directly by 22 marks. Now, this was a drastic increase. And do you expect this cutoffs to fall down anytime? I don't think so. This cutoff is going to shoot with each year coming up. Next year, I expect to become around 180 least. So, if you want to qualify GPAT, under any situation, you need to ensure that you get at least 45 questions correct. Moment you get 45 questions correct in GPAT, 45 into 4 would mean 180 and you will be qualified. So this is least thing what you have to do on the day of exam. On the other side, talking about ranks. Now this is what something I want you to target. So एक thing जो हमको ये slide से पता चली है is that minimum I am going to attempt 45 questions on the day of GPAT and those 45 have to turn correct. Don't worry, you can get your friends in the real class test starting now. So feel free to share it among college friends. So 45 questions correct would ensure your for sure qualification. Correct questions, I would mean. And if you talk about GPAT 2020 ranks specifically, the latest one I have taken into the account, All India rank 01 had a score around 315. Below all the students are the ones who had their scores above a certain range and which was falling in a particular category. I personally believe that every single mark counts, and that's what I want you to explain over here. All India rank 08 was Pharma Elite's classroom student for GPAT 2020. 13, 19, 44, 47, they all were our students, either online or classroom students. What I want you to observe is between All India rank 01 and All India rank 08, there is a difference of 7 ranks. This difference of 7 ranks is coming with a difference of 22 marks. Now you might be wondering, क्या बोल रहा है ये बोलता है every single mark counts and here 22 marks and difference is only of 7 ranks. Boss, till the time you are in top 100, it's not a challenge. So all yellow ones were Family classroom students or online students. But if you observe this too, between All India rank 328 and 500, the ranks differ by 172. 172 ranks का difference है only for a difference of 13 marks. In a span of 13 marks, you are having a difference of 172 ranks. So every single rank in that case has contributed to almost 10 to 15 rankers. So what we want to highlight personally, what we want you to understand is if you want to stand in top 10, you have supposed to attempt 90 questions minimum. If your 90 questions go correct, 90 into 4 means 360 questions, sorry, 360 marks. And 360 marks basically means a rank within top 10. That's how we want you to focus upon. That's how we want you to plan your goals. So, day one, when you start practicing paper, when you start reading things, you are supposed to be clear with what you want further. When I say what you want further, I basically mean that what particular rank, what particular scores are you going to target. In that case, now we have clarity that if I only want to qualify, I have to have 45 correct questions. If I want to get into top 10, I have to get 90 correct questions. Your goal setting starts right from you. So we always believe start with the end in mind. Now you have a clear cut goal. Okay, I want a rank which is in top 10. So I would focus on getting 90 correct questions. That's how you can do it. And that's the reason we always say that every single mark counts, because when you take that additional risk, I'll show you about paper solving strategy and all as well, because that plays a crucial role again in. There are different strategies required for GPAT and NIPER preparation. With regards to GPAT, you're aware 125 questions. With regards to NIPER, it is 200 questions. So now you might be wondering, NIPER is having 75 questions more. So if there are 75 more questions, then in that case, NIPER should have more time to attempt the paper. Well, that's not the case. GPAT for 125 questions is for 3 hours. On the other side, NIPER for 75 questions extra in total of 200 questions in NIPER is supposed to be done in 2 hours. So on one side, number of questions increased by 75. On the other side, the time also decreased by 1 hour. That's another challenge again. Going further with regards to GPAT, GPAT has negative marking. I already told you if you attempt the question and if it goes wrong, you lose 5 instead of 4. But what stands important is knowing what to study in GPAT and NIPER. There are few subjects from which questions will be superficial. I'm not saying you leave those subjects. I'm not saying you don't study those subjects. I just advise you that with regards to those particular subjects, ensure that you do those subjects at the end. Don't keep them on priority. Focus on important topics. So in case of GPAT, there are few important topics which needs to be focused upon perfectly. Once you keep more focus on those particular topics, you get a better ideology with regards to your preparation. Sir, can you just move it to the full screen? Because then the slides would be more clearly visible, I suppose. Anwar, sir? Going further with regards to NIPER preparation, NIPER also has negative marking, but NIPER at the same time has a lot of basic and application type question. Now, what do I mean by a basic and application type question? These questions are the ones where you can go fast, where your speed should not be a challenge, because moment you read the question, you know the answer. They are of that basic level. So if you are able to go that way, it would be a better going. Going further, NIPER also has a lot of general knowledge based question. Now, what do you mean by general knowledge based question? General knowledge based questions basically mean that with regards to GK questions would be there. So if you talk about NIPER 2020, NIPER 2020 had questions which were basically based on COVID-19. So coronavirus was there, hydroxychloroquine based questions were there in NIPER 2020. So you can expect such level of questions in GPAT as well in the upcoming year. In NIPER, you also have intelligence quotient based question. Now, what do you mean by intelligence quotient based question? Intelligence quotient based question is something like what we did in our school days scholarship 5, comma 8, comma 11. What do you expect to be the next number? 5 and 8 have a difference of 3, 8 and 11 have a difference of 3. What do you think would be the next number? Again, a difference of 3, correct? It would be 14. So, yes, such level of basic questions are a part of NIPER. Why it is that I'll tell you. NIPER also has synonyms, antonyms, meanings opposite to play with vocab. At the same time, there are specific subjects and topics which needs to be dealt in depth with regards to NIPER as well. Now, the best part about NIPER is NIPER offers you a degree of MS, which usually our friends get abroad. NIPER is the only place in India to give you a MS degree. You also get MPharm degree from NIPER for some specific courses. You also get MTech degrees for some specific courses. Most importantly, NIPER also has Pharma MBA. Now, with regards to Pharma MBA, earlier NIPER had a Pharma MBA only at NIPER Mohali and NIPER Hyderabad. Now, NIPER also has Pharma MBA at NIPER Ahmedabad. So, earlier there were two institutes. Now, there are three NIPERs who are offering you pharmaceutical MBA. The entrance is the same. Later on, you have, other than your paper, you also have group discussion and personal interview, which needs to be taken care of. Going further, the most important thing is that if you want to have a better speed while writing your NIPER paper, you need to practice more. The more you practice, the more you read, the more knowledge you will have. And when you have that particular lack of knowledge, moment you will read the question, you will be able to answer it immediately. You won't be slow on that case. Also, most important thing would be knowing what to study and how to study. This is the biggest challenge. Biggest problem is that most of us don't know which subject, which book, which topic. We sit with some random topics, random books, and we just end up thinking that ये हो जाएगा तो my GPAT would be done. But on the other side, we tend to go wrong over there, and that's where we need to work upon. Going further with regards to list of NIPER institutes across India, we have NIPER Mohali, followed by NIPER Hyderabad, NIPER Ahmedabad, NIPER Raebareli, NIPER Guwahati, NIPER Hajipur, and NIPER Kolkata. So every NIPER has its own advantage, disadvantage, pros and cons. Some are good at placement, some are good at industrial exposure, but the best ones are the top three with regards to placements, industry exposure, industrial sessions, speakers, learning. These three hold the best. So if you want a bright career, your target should be among these three. Your route, you first need to write GPAT, qualify GPAT, write NIPER, get a rank within top 100 in NIPER. Again, based on what stream. If you want pharmaceutics, pharmaceutics at NIPER Mohali, pharmaceutical analysis also at NIPER Mohali gets closed within top 30 ranks. So you have to be in top 30 if you want to be at NIPER Mohali only. So that's how your goal setting should be right from now. What you want should be planned right today so that you plan your preparations and your targets accordingly. Going further, there are few questions which needs to be answered when it comes to strategies for GPAT preparation. Let it be any goal setting in your career, let it be for GPAT, let it be for NIPER. There are few things which are very much clear. First and foremost thing, you should plan things. It should not be a random go. मन किया आज आपने फार्माकोग्नोसी पढ़ा, कल मन किया आपने फार्मास्यूटिक्स पढ़ा. This is not the way you are able to be in top 10. You need to plan which date, which subject, which topic are you going to do. So most important thing is planning in the right direction. Don't just go haphazard. Hard work करने वाले बहुत लोग हैं. I'm not telling you that hard work won't help, but hard work with smart work will take you to a better rank immediately. So be clear on those lines that you don't only work hard, but at the same time you also work smart, because this combination together will help you reach your goals easily. Going further, the few important questions which you need to take into account includes first and foremost, what to study. पढ़ना क्या है? What is it that we require for GPAT? Everyone told us GPAT is having syllabus of 4 years, and we were like, oh, 4 साल का syllabus एक साथ. I don't deny that it is having 4 years of syllabus, but then yes, you have a specific way to go forward. You actually know that which subject, which topic is supposed to be kept on priority. You can keep your those subjects on priority, and later on you can focus on other subjects and other topics. Going further, how much to study? So let's take an example of a simple chapter which we have done multiple times, rheology. Rheology is supposed to be done for GPAT. It is important. But is someone asking me to draw graphs of rheology? Is someone asking me to write a short note on rheology in GPAT? The answer is no. Then while studying rheology, I have to study it in that manner only. There is no need of investing your time on things and topics which are not required. Let's take a simple example of organic chemistry, OC. We all fear organic chemistry to a good extent. मैकेनिज्म्स किसने किस पे अटैक किया, कैटायन ने एनायन पे कैसे अटैक किया, which arrow will come where, which direction. Is GPAT asking you to write mechanism? No. Then while studying for GPAT, you don't need to get into the mechanistic steps. You should know what is the reactant, you should know what is the product, and what you should know is what is the reagent. That's it. You have to be smart with regards to your preparation, which subject, which topic, which part to be done in which manner. So if you go onto my YouTube channel, Dharmesh Mehta GPAT, you will find about such videos that how to study those subjects effectively. Going further, most important thing what stands is from where to study. So if you don't have the correct reference book with you, everything is a waste. I'm not saying that any book is not useful or not, but you should go into depth wherever required. So subjects like pharmacology, pharmchem, from where a good number of questions come up, you need to ensure that for all the subjects you actually go in depth. For pharmacology, you have to read KD Tripathi in depth. For PharmChem, you have to read OA in depth. So this specific subjects, this specific books where your detailing, your reading is required greatly, you should do it to that level. If you leave things superficial over there, it's gone. You cannot do that. Going further, most important thing is by when to study. If you don't set a deadline to your goals, if you don't set a deadline that by when, how you're going to finish a topic, it's not going to work out, my friend. So if we talk about say GPAT 21, when do you expect it to happen? Most of the time, GPAT used to happen in January. But looking at COVID scenario, we don't think GPAT 21 will happen in January. The forms are also not yet out. When do we expect it to happen? So I think it should be probably in Feb end, just predicting it. It's not being announced or something of that sort. Everyone will have their own predictions. It should be either in Feb end or mid of March. So let's calculate how do we plan our things if I'm someone who is going to start with my prep today. So boss, if you're starting with your preparation today, let's assume you have your semesters coming up. Your entire December has gone for semesters because I suppose most of them have your semesters now. So your December is gone for semester. You have only the month of January and mid of February to prepare for your GPAT. In this 45 days, what you are having in your hand, you need to identify which subject you are weak into. There cannot be a generalized plan. You might be strong at pharmacology, I might be strong at OC. So you need to give additional time to OC, I need to give additional time to pharmacology. आपका जो वीक एरिया है आपको वो वीक एरिया पे काम करना पड़ेगा. It cannot work out the same way for both of us. At the same time, not only that, you also need to plan when are you going to solve question papers. Divide your subject chapters effectively so that you can finish things in that particular duration. Going further, with regards to previous year paper analysis of GPAT, now this is the most important thing what I always tell you all. This chart basically will help you to understand which subject and which topic you are supposed to focus more upon. So we have analyzed papers from GPAT 2016 till GPAT 2020. If you observe this particular analysis carefully, we have subjects like chemistry. So when I say chemistry, I mean everything: inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry, pharmaceutical chemistry, and you have pharm chem, medicinal chemistry, or you have pharmacology, APP, and all the other subjects being mentioned over here. Till 2017, it was a different authority who was taking exam. From 2019, 2018, 2020, it has been NTA which is conducting GPAT. So if I just pick up the year 2019, if you observe the number of questions from pharmacology and pharm chem, 20 plus 8 was 28, and 32 plus 3 comes to 35. So 28 plus 35 in total of 63 questions in GPAT 2020. 63 questions, correct? 63 total questions in GPAT is 125. 63 questions out of 125 in GPAT 2020 were only from chemistry, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacology, and APP. So which accounts to 50% of GPAT paper. So your 50% of GPAT paper was actually only and only from this subjects. So imagine if you have left anything in option from these two subjects, you have committed a crime. And the biggest problem is that most of us fear these two subjects only. किसी को केमिस्ट्री से डर लगता है, किसी को फार्माकोलॉजी से डर लगता है. And if we lose onto this subject, we have made a big mistake. So we need to ensure that we don't keep things in options from this subject. We work on this particular subjects and finish them to a good extent. Going further, I'm not saying other subjects are not important, but then you have to prioritize. You need to have an idea which subject, which topic you will focus more upon, which subject, which topic you will do superficially. So if you take case of your pharmaceutics, yes, the number of questions from pharmaceutics are increasing. But at the same time, from pharmaceutical engineering, the number of questions are less. They are around 3, 4. The number of questions from jurisprudence are less. I'm not saying you leave it, but then do it at the end. Don't keep it on priority. Your prior subject should be this only. You have to play with this subjects majorly. Going further, we talked about study and preparation strategy. We talked about different ways to go about how will you decide which subject, which topic to keep on priority. Next important thing I would like to tell you is practicing with regards to test series. This is where most of us go wrong. So what we happen to do is we tend to solve it from books. I'm not saying that solving from books is wrong, but that's not enough. I will tell you why. You might think that timer का क्या है, timer तो मैं भी stop watch लगा के book से paper solve कर सकता हूँ. Because that's not the case. When you solve paper online, it's not only about timer, but it's also about feature of flagging, mark for review and next, which GPAT offers it in its test paper, which most of us don't know. बिकॉज वी नेवर प्रैक्टिस्ड इट ऑनलाइन, तो हमको पता ही कैसे होगा कि फ्लैगिंग या मार्क फॉर रिव्यू एंड नेक्स्ट का कुछ यूज होता है या उसको कैसे यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं. Trust me, if you use this feature properly, you can actually finish a lot of things. If you know that how to go about utilizing this particular feature of mark for review and next, you can finish those things on a quicker note. I'll show you how to use this feature. I'll just give you a brief idea as well. If you want to get a better idea, better knowledge of it, you can just reach out onto this number. We'll help you out with the process. Going further, there are different ways of solving test papers. So once I take you to that particular pattern where it is being done, how the mark for review feature is there, later on I'll explain you those ways of solving test papers as well. It's not that you randomly solve papers and you get it done. No. Suppose if you take example, we have 25, rather 35 test papers on our online portal. So what you should do is out of this 25 papers, you have to divide them into 5 slots. 1 to 5 papers, 5, 6 to 10 papers, 11 to 15 papers. You should divide all those papers in different slots. Now, what is going to be the agenda? Why are we dividing these papers in different slots? First and foremost thing, what you have to keep in mind is your mindset is everything. So the more you practice, the more you make it a habit, the more better it is. So suppose you make it a habit of attempting 100 questions in each paper. आदत बना लो कि भाई मैं हर एक पेपर में 100 क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करूंगा, irrespective of whether you go right or wrong, because it doesn't matter ना. At the end of the day you are just practicing. तो अगर आपका आंसर गलत भी जाता है तो ठीक है, आपको पता चलेगा कि आपका कौन सा सब्जेक्ट वीक है, आपको कौन सा सब्जेक्ट पे ज्यादा काम करना है, सो दैट यू कैन improve your skills in that particular subject. It's fine even if you go wrong. It's not a challenge. It will help you to understand where are you going wrong. अब out of 125 questions you attempted only 100 questions, so 25 questions तो आपने attempt ही नहीं किए. ये 100 में से suppose on the first paper your 60 questions go correct, your 40 questions go wrong. Now, before solving paper number 6 to 10, what you need to do is 25 questions which went wrong over here and 40 questions which went wrong over here. This 65 questions needs to be analyzed. You need to find out those subjects and those topics. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि that you find out your, suppose your answer goes wrong for which among the following is an example of start codon. आपने आंसर देख लिया कि AUG आंसर था, ऐसे नहीं. You need to know in and out things about that particular chapter. then आपको स्टार्ट कोडॉन्स के बारे में अगर क्वेश्चन रॉन्ग जा रहा है, देन यू शुड नो व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय स्टॉप कोडॉन. यू शुड नो व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट थिंग्स एसोसिएटेड विद इट. वोबल हाइपोथेसिस क्या होता है, सब कुछ पता होना चाहिए. So next time there is a question from the same concept, you will be able to answer it. It won't be a challenge for you. You will be able to get through that particular question very easily. Going further, again same habit रखो, 6 to 10 में भी वापस 100 question attempt करो, but now the scenario should change. From 60 or 70 questions should go correct. You can go wrong on to 30. Again identify where did we go wrong. Then go to paper number 11 to 15. Target getting 80 questions correct over here, 20 can go wrong over here. Again then go to paper number 16 to 20. And यहाँ से आपकी आदत ऐसी हो जानी चाहिए that you get 90 questions correct and you only lose wrong for 10 questions. This is what you need to understand. This is the most important thing when it comes to GPAT. If you can do this, if by paper you can improvise and you can get 90 questions correct, trust me, we did it right in the beginning. 90 correct questions means a score for GPAT which would be in top 10. So be clear with this particular feature of improvising with regards to paper from paper. I hope the screen is clear and it's not blurred, correct? Is the screen clear? Can someone just confirm it, or is it blur? Is the screen clear?
Yes, yes, it is clear. Perfect, perfect. You can continue.
Okay. Thank you. Going further, with regards to ways of solving test papers we just spoke about, other than that, I told you when you go on practicing papers this way, each paper, if you are targeting this number of questions, trust me, on your own, on the day of GPAT, it will happen that you will attempt 90 to 100 questions because you have got habituated to that thing. Each paper you are going to attempt that many questions anyhow. आपको आदत लगी है भाई हर एक पेपर में मुझे कैसे भी करके 100 क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करने हैं. So that's what this entire mindset plays around. There are different ways of solving MCQs as well. When you say different ways of solving MCQs, One way is that you mark the correct answers when you are sure. So if you know this is the correct answer, you go ahead and you mark it. Another way is elimination method. Elimination method basically means that you don't know what is the correct answer. Suppose there are four options A, B, C and D. आपको ये नहीं पता है कि करेक्ट आंसर क्या है, बट आपको ये तो पता है कि भाई सी और डी तो पक्का आंसर नहीं. So answer is only A and B. So you can go on to my channel. I have made a video of ways of solving MCQs effectively. You can go onto that channel and just have a look on that video for a better knowledge. Lastly, logical way of solving. So on each question, if you apply perfect logic, you can get through it. What do you mean by logical solving? Suppose you are being asked to calculate child dose for a drug. आपको child dose calculate करने बोला है and they have given you adult dose which is 700 mg. Adult dose is 700 mg. They have asked you to calculate child dose and they're asking you how do you do it by Young's formula. Now the problem is we studied Young's formula in our first year B Farm and Young's formula पढ़ के तो बहुत time हो गया. Answering it now is very difficult and most of us don't attempt the question and we leave it. Now that's not the way to go about. Most of them will leave it, but some smart person will observe all the options. So when you observe all the four options, one option is 800, another option is 900, third option is 850, and then comes the last option which says 400. And then you think, yeah, out of all these options, only one option is below 700. And we all know child dose is always less than adult dose. So answer is 400 mg because एक वही option है जो 700 से कम है. So मुझे formula नहीं भी आता था, still I could solve it. So yes, such logical type of questions can actually be utilized to get through things. They are never being competitive or very difficult. It's just a matter of applying some logic. I was telling you about our online test series portal. So it's Pharmalight's test series portal only. You have this feature of mark for review and next. This is the same portal the way your GPAT exam will be. So already a video on channel is also there on this. So suppose if you don't know a question, don't waste time on that. You have time to work on that particular question. You can come on to that particular question at the end. After coming on that particular question, you can actually solve it. So when I say mark for review and next, I basically mean that suppose आपको कोई question नहीं आता है तो आप उस पर ज़्यादा मत सोचो कभी. For that particular moment, just click on mark for review and next. When you highlight it, when you mark it for review and next, it becomes purple. When it shows purple, it would basically mean that suppose 15th question को मैंने mark for review and next किया, it will become purple over here. Then I made a mark for review and next for 40th question, it will become purple over here. Now, why am I telling you this? Many times what happens in your GPAT paper, second question itself might be a numerical and you are not sure about that numerical. आपको formula याद नहीं आ रहा, आपने तो भी सोचा नहीं मैं इसको अभी सॉल्व करूंगा, आपने फॉर्मूला अप्लाई किया, आंसर आया, आंसर ऑप्शन में है ही नहीं. You will lose your strength, you will lose your focus, आपका माइंड डिस्टर्ब हो जाएगा. So if you think that इसमें मेरे को ज़्यादा सोचना पड़ेगा या इसमें कुछ ज़्यादा कॉन्सेप्ट इन्वॉल्व है, don't focus on that particular question in that moment. Leave it for that moment. Just click on mark for review and next. Once you finish entire 1 to 125 questions, you don't have to search for that question. अपने आप वहाँ पे जो पर्पल कलर के हाईलाइट्स पैलेट्स है, स्ट्रेट अवे जस्ट क्लिक ऑन दिस. सपोज मैंने सेकंड पे क्लिक किया, आंसर मार्क करो. आफ्टर मार्किंग द आंसर, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप, don't forget to click on save and next. What happens is most of us after marking the answer straight away click on the next purple one. If you do this, your answer doesn't get submitted. After marking the answer, you're supposed to click on save and next, only then your answer will get submitted. So एक पर्पल पे क्लिक किया, आंसर मार्क किया, सेव एंड नेक्स्ट पे क्लिक करो, देन नेक्स्ट पर्पल पे क्लिक करो. अदरवाइज यू विल थिंक दैट मैंने तो इतने सारे क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट किए थे, वेयर डिड आई गो रॉन्ग. So ensure that you don't make such silly errors. At the same time, when it comes to our portal, you can actually observe that what amount of time you have taken on any particular question. So if a good amount of time you are investing on any specific question, even though it is going correct, somewhere it means that you are not strong at that particular concept. So you should reread that. You actually need to evaluate your performance with each time you solve a paper for which question you are taking more time. जो क्वेश्चन पे ज्यादा टाइम लग रहा है, वर्क ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन. Read about that particular question so the next time there is a question from that domain you can go fast. At the same time, when it comes to our portal, you can get a comparative result. So this is the score of a topper for a paper. Topper had taken 46 minutes. 3 घंटे का GPAT पेपर होता है, he has solved entire paper in 46 minutes. Out of 125 question, he has got 118 questions being attempted. 7 questions he didn't attempt. 100 questions went correct. 18 went wrong. Now this is my paper. I just opened it. I just attempted 2 questions. My both the questions went correct. What time I took. So you get a comparative result which helps you to identify that how are you supposed to improvise further. Coming to the most important part, paper solving strategy. Now I believe paper solving strategy is the most important part when it comes to any exam. And the funda what we are going to apply now is going to be very important with regards to any competitive exam. So let it be any competitive exam, you can use this. And I advise you when you're practicing your GPAT papers, that time also practice the same way. Because when you practice it the same way, you will be able to apply it the same way. So 125 questions for GPAT is for 3 hours. This 3 hours of GPAT paper, this 125 questions are supposed to be solved in 3 rounds. Yes, we'll solve the entire GPAT paper in 3 rounds. While practicing, while solving paper, also solve it in 3 rounds only. Out of 125 क्वेश्चन से सपोज 35 क्वेश्चन आर सच जिसके बारे में आपने ज्यादा सुना नहीं. These are unknown questions to you. So this unknown questions should not be attempted. It's not a part of your domain, not required. On the other side, you have another 90 questions जिसके बारे में आपने कभी तो कुछ तो सुना है. It's not that you have completely unheard it. कहीं ना कभी हमने कुछ तो सुना. Out of this 90 questions, say 50 questions are such that you're sure that whatever you're marking is correct. So in round one, you will attempt only those questions about which you are sure that whatever I'm marking is going to be correct. So round one question deals about be sure about the questions what you are marking. So 40 questions are left. Most of them would leave this 40 questions. They won't take a risk of attempting this 40 questions. I want you to take a risk of this 40 questions. Say suppose these questions are 50-50 or 60-40 type of situation where the chances of you going right and wrong are equal. And suppose then you take risk for this particular 40 questions. Out of this 40 questions, say your 10 questions go correct and your 30 questions go wrong. For every wrong answer, you are going to lose -1. 30 into -1 comes to a total of minus 30 marks. 10 correct questions mean 10 into 4 plus 40 marks. Plus 40 minus 30 comes to a net score of plus 10 marks. And we all saw one single mark can make a difference of 10 to 15 ranks. So if you have a difference of 10 marks, you can expect a difference of almost 150 ranks. That's one of the things. So this is the chart. This is going to be your path. You should be in your journey from stage 1 till here. And by the time you write your GPAT exam, this should be your score target. Attempting 100 questions, 90 going correct. 90 correct questions would mean a score of 90 into 4 is 360. 360 correct questions basically mean that 360 correct marks. Then 10 questions go wrong, suppose. For every wrong answer, you lose -1, so minus 10. 360 minus 10 comes to a net score of 350 marks. And trust me, a net score of 350 marks basically means a rank within top 10. That's how you can turn it around. So plan for these targets right from now. When you focus on things in this direction, trust me, you can easily get through it. I don't see any challenges further. Most importantly, now your ideology should not around things that can I crack GPAT. Now it's very much clear that yes, we can easily crack GPAT. If you want to think on what rank should I target. I've already given an answer to you for that also. Target top 10 ranks only. छोटा सोचना ही क्यों है? Come on, we can do it. There's not such big a challenge. Don't think about the things which went wrong in the past. Bulls out what happened in 10 plus 2, 10 plus to basically 12 standard, JEE NEET. Those are things done in the past. You cannot change, I cannot change it. Think about things which are yet to come. Don't think that if I didn't do well in my semesters, I won't be able to do well in GPAT as well. ऐसा नहीं है, GPAT requires a different knack. GPAT required way and your प्रिपरेशन फॉर सेमेस्टर्स आर टू डिफरेंट थिंग्स. फार्माकोलॉजी में एक बड़ा मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्शन पूरा पेज का लिखना पड़ता है. नाइपर में एक पेज का मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्शन या जीपैट में एक पेज का मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्शन नहीं लिखना है आपको. So they are two different things. Failure on your semesters or not getting a pointer of 10, 9 in semester doesn't mean that you cannot get a top rank in GPAT. Anything and everything is possible. It's all about perception. If you perceive that you can do it, trust me, you can do it. Believe to become, and you will be writing history soon for your college. You probably would be the first All India rank 01 for your specific college. I hope with this session we could help you to target the best. Just few highlights before I move to question and answer. Few things which I would like to tell you based on the return on investment part, because while doing bachelor's, we all invest a lot. Some 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, or maybe even till 8 lakhs is our investment when we pursue our B Farm. So when it comes to our post graduation, when it comes to NIPER, when it comes to M Farm, MS, MTech, what is the way? Return on investment, I basically mean that amount of fees we invested and what returns are we getting in. So basically, a return on investment focuses on two things. Stage number one basically is what was your fees? So if you are doing your post graduation from NIPER, your 2 years of fees would be around 2 lakhs. 2 साल का fee बोल रहा हूँ for MS, not for Pharma MBA. It would be around 2 lakhs. And your stipend was 12,400 rupees per month. Your stipend was 12,400 rupees per month, which accounts for a total stipend of 2 lakh 88,000 for entire 2 years. So you have invested 2 lakh rupees. In returns, you have got 2 lakh 88,000 rupees. So you're already on the positive side. Even if you stay at hostel, your food cost won't cross this. And you start with a package which would be between 4 to 9 lakhs per annum. But you have to be in the top three NIPERs, NIPER Mohali, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad. Yeah, this big is the range. You can be a part of 9 lakhs package as well. You might be a package of 4 lakh as well, 3.5 as well with some NIPERs. On the other hand, if you do post graduation from some private colleges across, maybe you might get the same package, not denying that, but your fees might be 4 lakhs per annum for few colleges. For other colleges, it might be 4 lakhs for 2 years. What I want to say is our parents have already invested a lot of us in the past 4 years. Now it's our time to give them back. So start becoming independent. From your stipend, you can manage your own fees. And most importantly, you will get better learning, better exposure, and a better package, better industry to work for in the beginning. And the better it is in the start, the better is the future. That's what I would like to tell you all. Thank you so much, Anwar sir. I hope in this brief session of 45-50 minutes, we could tap upon the different directions. In case students you want to get in touch with us for our online live lectures or any topics or any webinars to be done for you, you can reach out onto this particular given number. We'll do the needful. Can we move to question answers, sir? I was just looking at one of the questions in the chat box, which says that can we qualify if we start with the preparation now? So yes, I would say irrespective of what stage you are at present, it's not the case that you cannot do it. It's very much possible even now. So identify what are your strong areas and what are your weak areas. If you are strong at a subject like pharmacology, keep it at the last. Start with organic chemistry. Once you're done with pharmacology and organic chemistry, then later on you can move back to pharmacology where you're already strong, and then there you can cover all your different questions, different areas which you were yet to do in. So keep a balance amongst your subjects. Practice as many papers as you can. It's never too late to start again. So it's very much possible even then. We had one more question which was asking about number of seats for Pharma MBA. So when it comes to Pharma MBA, NIPER Mohali, NIPER Hyderabad, and NIPER Ahmedabad together has a total seats of around 150. If you total out the seats at all the three different NIPER, it's in the range of around 130 to 150 seats together, including all the three NIPER. Maximum number of seats for Pharma MBA are at NIPER Mohali, followed by NIPER Hyderabad, followed by NIPER Ahmedabad. So yes, that's the sequence. Any more questions, students? Not being specific, but yes, Feb end or by mid of March, it should be there. In so mid of March, you usually have your CET. So if CET exams happen on time, then those things would be a particular criteria. In but other than that, yes, it should happen around mid of March maximum.
Okay. Thank you, Dharmesh.
Yes.
Uh, one of the question was there when the GPAT forms will be released.
Expecting it within next 15 days maximum, because most of the time with regards to GPAT exam and the exam date. So if you observe with the previous years, the exam always used to happen in the month end of January, and the exam forms were usually out by the start of November. So November entirely, December entirely, and Jan end was the exam. So usually used to have around 2.5 months duration before the exam. So if they plan to take exam in Feb end, then forms should be out maximum by mid of December.
Okay, well, we'll take one last question. Is it compulsory to give GPAT in the fourth year if you qualify in the third year?
It's not compulsory, but if you do it, it would be better. Reason being, suppose if you write GPAT in third year, you have got a rank of say All India rank 102. Let's assume it. When it comes to someone who is going to write GPAT next year as well, and you are not writing GPAT in your final year, someone else might be All India rank 102. And if at all some rule changes that no, we are not going to consider the last year's rank, you need to have the latest rank. It's always better that you attempt GPAT in final year. Because when you do it in third year, there are many losses. First loss, although NTA doesn't record that what number of attempt it is, but if it happens, then it's a challenge. It might count as a second attempt for you in your final year. Next biggest loss is, suppose if you're a third year student and if you're qualified, Acha, I totally, we all would be happy for you because you have done something great. But what happens is when you're qualifying, some other candidate might not qualify. He will be out because only a specific number of students get qualified. He will become not qualified. Some of them might be a PhD candidate and they lose onto a seat, while you will occupy a seat which you are never going to utilize. So if you want to attempt GPAT in third year only for the sake of practice, I suggest you there are so many test series available. Other than that, now GPAT papers also come up in public domain since last 2 years. Government NTA themselves put up the question in the public domain, so that if you want to observe the question, you can observe those question papers there and there as well. It's always better you write your GPAT paper in your final year only. Talking about best career option, MBA or MPharm, it's not the way we usually select upon. Stage number one is what do you like? Where do you fit in? Not everyone is made for a scientist job, not everyone is made for a marketing job. So identify that where your passion lies, there you will be able to work greatly. If you are a hardcore scientist and if you think that okay, MBA has more money, I'll go to MBA. I'm sorry, if you're not able to mold yourself, if you're not able to shape yourself, you won't be able to get through things that easily. You will suffer even though you had a good skill set, but you are at the wrong place. So be careful with that zone. Don't go with the flow. Don't go with what everyone says. Identify on stage one that what is it that you like. Only then you can go with things easily.
Okay, so now we'll continue with the industry interaction and some details about the, yeah.
So just give me a minute. Amita ma'am has joined in, I suppose.
So we are having uh, one more speaker for last 10 minutes, and she's again this expert in this marketing field. So madam is just joining to us within a few seconds. Is, yeah, uh, is the madam joining?
Yeah, yeah, sir. Just a minute. I guess she has just clicked on the link. She's just joining in, sir.
Yeah. Now here there is one question from Komal, that is suggest tips to third year student for the All India rank 1.
Correct. So, Kumal, basically, when you are in third year, it's the actually one of the correct time to get started with GPAT preparation. What you should do is you should focus not only on topics of semester 5 and 6, because topics of semester 5 and 6 you are any which ways doing. It's not that something out of the box for your semesters. You have to do that. What you should focus upon more is going to be topics of semester 7 and 8, because GPAT is not going to think that आपके लिए semester 7 or 8 नहीं था या it was optional. No, that's not going to be the case. You have to study for semester 7 and 8 parallelly. You have to ensure that you finish those topics. So when you start with semester 5, suppose you are in semester 5 now, semester 5 and 6 के लिए तो आप already GPAT के लिए prepare कर रहे हो. Now, what you should do is, along with focusing on GPAT preparation for semester 5 and 6, read few things of semester 1 and 2 so that you can finish those things. It should not happen that you're not having an ideology of the earlier semesters. So finish those. After that, tap semester 8. There are few basic subjects of semester 8 which you can actually do without doing the earlier ones. So start focusing on semester 8 topics. Most importantly, don't go topics or subjects which have a direct link. So suppose you have biopharmaceutics in semester 8, and I suppose with PCI syllabus you people have optional things. And what happens to go wrong is you select one subject or one topic and you leave another subject in option. Like our senior said biochemistry में KT लगता है, so we tend to keep biochemistry in option. Then you have biopharmaceutics. Biopharmaceutics, if you keep optional for the earlier semesters, any which ways you have to face biopharmaceutics in your later semesters. So don't go wrong on those particular subjects or points. Just a sec.
Okay. So we are connecting with Dr. Amita Karnik, madam, and I will be having a only 10-minute session. So be online. Madam is going to share some important points with you, and within 10 minutes we'll be finishing the session. So be online. Very shortly the madam is connecting with us. So if you want to ask some which is the best career option, MBA or MPharm? So Vaishnavi Patil. Okay, I will display the question. Okay, be online very soon. The madam is also connecting to us. Okay, suggest the guidelines for second year student to qualify the GPAT examination. So it is a golden opportunity for the second year students. Yeah.
So when it comes to second year B Farm, first and foremost thing, it would be very great if you have a direction right from second year that okay, I'm supposed to do GPAT further. So those subjects which you're going to select in your electives, I suppose you have electives like excipients, then you have toxicology, you have cosmeticology. So after your bachelor's, if in your post graduation you want to do formulation as a part of your future curriculum goal, then you should take excipients as a part of your elective subject. If you want to do pharmacology, you should take up electives like toxicology as a part of your electives. So be careful with what elective subjects you are selecting during your post graduation. That will help you to get through easily during your post graduation as well.
Okay. The question is another displayed on the screen. Which is the best career option, MBA or MPharm?
So Vaishnavi, first thing is that you identify what you want to do. That is one thing. Second thing, what you can do is when it comes to return on investment, some most of the times many people will tell you that return on investment is always more when you do MBA. But I
Mhm.
personally believe that's not the case. If you are good at something, you will do it in both the fields. One would be to identify what you love to do. Then stage 2 would come whether you want to go for MBA or MPharm. So if you're looking at a higher return on investment, yes, go ahead with MBA, but just ensure that it is your passion as well, not only for the sake of doing it, but for the sake of achieving something great, you do it.
Okay, so Amita madam is connected with us. Madam, please unmute the mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Good
Welcome,
evening,
madam.
everyone.
Good evening and welcome to this session. Yeah.
Sorry for the delay. I had gone out and after a long time. After a long time of 8 months, I went out. So came back just now. And Dharmesh, will you share the screen? Are we presenting to the students also now?
Yes, ma'am. Just a second.
Yeah. How many students are there, Dr. Sheikh?
Presently, here are the 26 joined, and at my Facebook, there are near about 100 students.
Okay, okay. Hi, students. They can hear me, right?
You can continue, madam.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session. We call this the pre-course session. It is a very interactive session. I will be presenting to you what we are going to do in this course and why we decided to start an academia to industry interaction. You can ask me a lot of questions to understand what you all should do. Let me first tell you why we started this. For a long time, Dr. Sheikh knows me for some years. I have always been saying that I love to be a teacher. I have been in the industry for 28 years now. And one of the things that I have seen for personally myself is that it took me years to really understand and get into the industry requirements. Because when we do a graduation, postgrad, and even PhD, we only know around 30-40% what is required, and that is the foundation of the course. Foundations are and the basics of pharmacy are taught. But when we go out into the real world, the way the industry looks at problems, the way things are carried out is very, very different than what we generally think. So the idea behind starting the A2I course is to help you all reach transition into the industry faster so that you don't have to go to an industry, take 1 year, 2 years of experience, then you start thinking of jumping into new jobs. Because always in the industry, students keep on saying are not getting good jobs, and the industry keeps on saying we are not getting good candidates. So what is the reason? And it is not only in the field of pharmacy, it is in the field of engineering. You can see so many. You can see Times of India giving this news last month. We have Economic Times giving this news. So we thought that we let us bridge this gap between the academia and the industry. And that is how we have come to you with 4 modules. Let's discuss them. Can I get the next slide, please? See, this is the a month ago, Times of India came out with this article where they have recommended that if we want greater employability for our youth, we need to bridge the gap between the industry and academia. For this, we have to introduce innovative teaching technologies. And Dr. Sheikh, that for 5 years, I have been traveling from Bombay to Pune colleges to give these lectures. But COVID times gave us an idea about online lectures. And we are now coming up with this innovative technology for getting you can sit at the comforts of your college hostel or your home and you can talk to us. We have always a question that students ask is why doesn't our curriculum get revised so that industry can we can get a better design in the curriculum for the industry. What has happened is the syllabus is actually the basics of what is required. Company to company policies are changing. Country to country, the requirements are changing. So what happens in the area? Always there is a lot of newer and newer guidances or guidelines that are coming up so that the industry can go ahead. So we decided that let us talk to all the institutes and train the faculty also, as well as the students who would like to get a faster transition to the industry. Can I get the next slide? We have a great team in AY. Dr. Ajaz Hussain is a US FDA scientist. He has worked there from 1995 to 2005. He has been the global head of biopharmaceutical development at Sandoz. He's the chief scientific officer and VP next generation products as Philip Morris International. He's also the chief scientific officer and president of biotechnology at Wockard. With such a great experience with him, he brings to you, the students, the global perspective and the latest culture of quality that is required in the global world. This is a subject that we don't touch upon in academics, and so this is very, very important. Now, can I get the next lady with us is Dr. Parizad Elchidana. She's very, very well known in the pharma world because she's the president of the Control Release Society, the India chapter, and she comes with her 30 years of experience. She now works with ACG as the principal technical consultant. She was the ex-managing director for IVAX India, followed by Apotex. IVAX India is currently Teva. You have heard of Teva, the generic drug company. She supported a startup company called Pharmaceutical based in Dubai as a chief technology officer. So you can see that she has a number of years of technological experience. She brings to us the nitty-gritties of what the different department requires, the coordination between the departments in the industry. And even if a person starts with, say, with a formulation development, how a lateral change can take place into other departments, because every department is kind of a building ladder, and how to go up in the industry is what she brings with us. The next slide. And that's me. I'm Dr. Amita Karnik. I have 28 years of experience. I have worked in the industry with FDC Limited, Franco-Indian Pharmaceuticals, Indoco Remedies. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Since 2002, I have started on my own with a company called Peltec Healthcare. We specialize in controlled release formulations, delayed release formulations, as well as pelletization. I'm also a managing director for Amicon RX, a research consultancy company. We work with global clients for development of their formulations and transfer of technology to their plants. I have very recently started with the AOI team, and I also have a formulation for food and nutrition company in Nashik. So that is why I call myself a serial entrepreneur. Always the ideas keep coming up and we start forming that into a company. So next slide, please. We have Dr. Mala Menon. She's an adjunct professor, but she was a professor with pharmaceutics with Bombay College of Pharmacy. She has 30 years of experience, guided more than 30 MPharm PhD students, and most importantly, she has handled more than 12 government projects and 20 industry projects that went into commercialization. She was able to publish 43 research papers and 4 book chapters. She comes to us with her academic experience, and she brings to us the requirements of basics that the industry requires. We then have, next slide, Dr. Varsha Pradhan. She is now the Consultant Regulatory Affairs and Post-Marketing Vigilance for Asia Actual India. She works a lot of, she does a lot of work in regulatory affairs in medical devices. Most of the medical devices are imported into India and they have to get registered in India. So she does a lot of work on that. She comes with 26 years of total experience in production, formulation development, market research, pharmacovigilance, and now she's also into pharmacy education. She has worked with leading companies like GSK, Cipla, Sandoz, Sidwim, and APCER. Next slide, please. We have Dr. Hema Nair, who is an associate professor at Sri Venkateshwara College of Pharmacy, Hyderabad. She comes with 20 years of experience. She has explored academic pursuits, including procuring research funding, guiding MPharm PhD students, and delivering invited lectures. She comes with her to us, to the ATI team, with a passion about motivating students to move beyond the syllabus and engage in self-development. And last but not the least, I would like Dharmesh to come on the screen. Mr. Dharmesh Mehta is our marketing person. He comes to us with an industry experience as well as his passion for teaching students. He does a lot of GPAT trainings. I think you must have spoken to him earlier. But most importantly, what he handles for us is the digital marketing part of our A2I programs. How we are able to reach you. The next slide, please. What does the A2I team propose to do? We address the industry academic gaps. We have 4 modules. Why did we have to give 4 different modules? When you study different subjects in the in the study of pharmacy, for example, pharmaceutical analysis, which department does it get? Finally, pharmaceutical analysis is related to which industry department? Can anybody answer? It's generally the quality control department. So what happens is that it's not only the quality control department, but the pharmaceutical analysis is important in formulation development, analytical development laboratories, product development laboratories. So only one subject that we read in the pharmacy teaching or the graduation is then going to different departments, and we'll all look at it from different angles. What do we mean by operations? Operations mean it's an umbrella word from everything, from inventory control, production planning, production itself, dispatch, logistics, supply chain, everything together comes under the umbrella word operations. Now, where do we look at? We only look at pharmaceutics in the syllabus, but we don't cover the other parts of the operation. So this is a very important subject. Not to sound, but the boys who come into this really go up the ladder in nearly 15, 20 years. I would also like girls to enter this department because it's really an interesting department. You get to work on projects where you are setting up new plants, you are refurbishing your plants into newer requirements. You always have to see the upkeep of the plant as per the audit requirements of every country. So operations is a big ball game in the pharmaceutical industry. In the quality, we are going to cover 2 aspects, but mainly we are going to cover the aspect of quality assurance, which is only taught in MPharm. I think there is no chapter of quality assurance until we graduate out. Is it, Sheikh sir? Or in the final year, we touch upon a little of quality assurance in BPharm. So what I would like students to do is that they need to know the quality assurance guidelines. They need to work upon the latest guidelines that are there for our country and other countries. A lot of people come to me and say that I want to learn US FDA. But if before you go to the requirements of US FDA or European norms, you should also know the norms required for the Indian industry. Like, for example, if anybody wants to set up a manufacturing unit, what is the license that you need to apply for and what is the checklist of documents that you require? Right from that, we'll be teaching in regulatory sciences. Then we go to quality assurance, where if we want a WHO GMP certification for our location or our product, what is the checklist that we have to keep ready? All these points will be covered. In formulation development, a lot of MPharm students are there, but what we do is one single project, whereas the industry, the person is multitasking between so many projects at a time. In many companies, every person is actually multitasking into 10 or 12 projects, of which are at different stages of the development life cycle. So we are going to talk to you about that. We are also going to teach you about the documentation required to prepare a CTD document. What is the R&D's role in it? What is the role of the formulation development team in process validation, as well as in the documentation that is required for production. So we are going to combine an instruction-based and a case study-based learning. Here we want participation from you. It is not that only we have to talk. Today, because I'm putting only my screen, I can't see students. But in our program, we would like to see students, talk to them. They have to ask us questions. It is exactly like what you will do in the industry. We will be giving you projects. You will have to work in the projects as a single person or as a team. And before the end of the course, you will have to submit it. Only then will you get a grade certificate for it. And we will be holding your hand at every step. We will be giving you one-to-one mentoring after the course so that you understand, you take a decision. Like currently a third year, final year students don't even know what they want to be, what they want to specialize in. They look at some one or two persons in their seniors and say, okay, I want to do this. But we will give you, we will talk to you, we will do your training need analysis, and then we will tell you what is the kind of work that you should go into here. So one-to-one mentoring is what is also a USP for our course. Next slide, please. We begin for all the 4 courses with a common foundation course where we talk about culture of pharmacology. Today is our first lecture for the foundation. For the earlier students, we have nearly 71 plus students who have joined us, and every month we are going to conduct these courses again so that we can reach maximum students in India. So we are going to talk about culture of pharmacology, what is required in today's world, good practice expectations. We have always heard about good manufacturing practices, but to do those practices, what is the expectation from the employee? That is what we are going to talk about. We are going to give you a lot of information about observations and evidences. What does it mean? When every audit takes place for any country, the auditor who comes, or even in India, the auditor who comes will give you observations. So that's called as an observation report. The company has to study it, and with a very technical answer, they have to prepare evidences to prove that they have completed the observation and they are supposed to give CAPA, which is corrective action and preventive action plan. Have you all heard of the word 483s? We say that 483s are the US FDA observations when they come for the US FDA audits, and the companies have to answer it with evidences, and only then are they given the US FDA certifications. We are going to talk to you about data integrity and systems proficiency that the employee will be required. I always keep telling my people who work under me, because you are a fresher, don't feel that you are a very small person in a very big organization. If you all are from Maharashtra, you must be knowing the term Kharita Vata. That means even a small squirrel played a very big role in preparing the Ram Setu when the bridge was being built. That means you in the company, every small person who puts a small pebble to make the bridge is very important. So that requires an integrity and systems proficiency for you on your part. And last but not the least, you will be getting professional development in terms of writing your resume, how to present yourself at interviews, and what do you answer at interviews in that particular topic. Next slide, please. We have the three courses, which is pharma operations, where we take a product life cycle approach, and we will be talking to you right from the process, the design of the product and the process, the scale up requirements, the transfer of technology requirements, the quality control of the fundamentals that come in each dosage form, and moreover, the essential skills that you will be requiring to maintain CGMP as well as a perpetual state of validation. What is a perpetual state of validation? Today you take up say the first process validation batches, and you say that you need to granulate for 20 minutes. After a few days, a new supervisor comes, he forgets and he starts doing it at 25 minutes. Next time somebody comes and does it at 30 minutes. Then the process validation is gone for a toss. That means the supervisor, who's the supervisor of production, who is, I would say, the smallest in the hierarchy of the organization, has to keep the product in a perpetual state of validation. Now, what do we mean by the next statement? Do you know that today the ages of AI, artificial intelligence, even the mobile phones today that you are handling are based on artificial intelligence. Even the industry has now gone into a context called as Pharma 4.0. This is the latest thing. What happens in this? Because of commercial scale of the batch sizes, we have automated batch equipment. This automated equipment are based on computer softwares. We have to do a lot of validation, not only for the process, but for the equipment and also the software. Every step that we do in manufacturing has some context, which has evolved into the context of AI and Industry 4.0. Now, this is not taught to us in the academics. Even I was not aware about it until 2 years ago. I continue to learn. I had to do a course on AI to understand this. We need to acquire and exercise the foundational skills that you have learned in your pharmacy graduation, where we...
Excuse me, madam.
Yeah.
Sorry to disturb. The session will be automatically timed out at 6:30, madam. It is actually time limited, so automatically it will be timed out at 6:30. Yeah.
What we can do, sir, is we can forward the brochures to the students on this thing, because the same matter is written in the brochures. I would like to then go to the last slide, please. Dharmesh, can you give us the last slide, the registration link?
Definitely, madam.
Yeah, the fees first. Fees. a slide before. Yeah, the fees for each module are rupees 4,000. We give a group discount for 5 and above. The fees are 3,000 for group, and it is total 20 hours. You'll also get a certification. Next slide. You can go and fill your registration form at this. I think Dharmesh will take this up.
Yeah.
Students, you can register on this
And
particular website.
definitely we'll have one dedicated session for you, madam, in coming.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for attending. Please take up this with gusto and give us a chance to coach you.
Definitely. So delegates, you can take the snapshot of this website, and definitely you can visit it, and we'll be forwarding you the details of this pamphlet too. So
Thank
thank
you so
Dharmesh,
you.
much.
please share
Yeah,
the brochures with sir.
yeah.
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 Thanks
So
a lot,
thank
sir.
you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dharmesh and Anita madam, for your gracious presence and all the delegates. So as we are running 2 minutes remaining only. So with this out of thanks, I would like to conclude this session with the permission of the speakers. Yeah.
I would just like to say if the students have any questions, they can please write it in the registration form. We will solve it for you.
Okay. Definitely. So this was a great session. Next week we'll be definitely meeting with new webinars. So the details will be getting soon. Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.